opportunity, if you were here just before, to see our baby sea lion Mateo doing a training session. He was being a bit of a mischief, but that always makes it rather fun, to be honest. He's only 2 years old, so he really is the youngster of the show. He's just turned 2. Now Merlin here likes to start every show by giving you guys a nice big wave. First of all, you've all got to wave at him. So can everyone stick an arm in the air, wave it around? Oh, lovely. Now the question is, Merle, do they get to wave back? You certainly do. And one more thing before we really get cracking on with the show. Myself and Merlin, we love the sound of clapping. So if he does something well... So if he does do something well during the show, and it's the same for any sea lion show you come to with all the different sea lions we have here, please always clap and encourage their good behaviour. They love to hear that attention from all of you. Now, that keeps me on the subject of animal training. We train the animals by rewarding good behaviour. So it can be our audiences clapping, cheering, laughing, the trainers feeding them pieces of fish, a pat on the back, even just saying well done, good boy, like you would do with a pet dog at home. They all respond very well to that type of praise, and that's called positive reinforcement. Now the first thing we ever teach them to do when they join us here, quite simply, and it does sound a bit strange, but it'll all make sense in a moment, this is the very first thing we teach them, is what is known as target training. So this is a target, a stick with a point on the end. This is the first thing they learn, touch that point with their nose. Now again, probably seems a bit odd, and when I first arrived here at the show, I used to wonder, well, why do they teach that? Well, eventually, it doesn't take long because they're so clever, they start to follow it when you move it, because you've encouraged them to touch it. It only makes sense, doesn't it, really? And then you can actually progress with the activity, which allows you to move on to what you actually wanted to get out of the target work. It starts to act like an invisible lead. So the idea is, wherever the target goes, the sea lion isn't too far behind. And this can be in different environments, so they'll follow it into the water, as you can see here. You've seen them already following it around on land. If you want the sea lions to lay down, you can train them to do that using this piece of equipment, because they follow it quite simply, place the target on the ground, and they'll follow it there like so. I didn't actually train Merlin to do this, but I have trained Mateo to do this. And the way that we did it was we just kept putting the target along the ground, so eventually your stomach would meet with the floor, and then you'd whistle and bridge then, so you're getting the behaviour you're asking for. But it allows us to check the animals all over their body. They're not nervous, they're not stressed, the vet can look at them. We're actually making something that normally with any animal, seeing a vet in a health check can be quite stressful and they're scared of and very fearful of it. We're making it positive, and that's the whole point of our job here at the show. Now he has done a fantastic job with that and stayed very still. Well done to you, Merle. Very well done indeed. You can have a whole there into that boy. Right, what we'll do next is a bit of balancing. Something that Merlin struggled with as a youngster. He's become very good at this now. So when he was young, the way that we started training was place the ball on his nose, he'd drop it straight on the floor, and it'd take months to get him to hold it for a few seconds. He can now catch the ball on his nose. Are you ready? So think about this. Don't try it at home, kids, because I think it'll hurt. Ready? Catch that. Well done. Now let's see if he can hold that ball there for as long as I explain how he's able to. It's all to do with his whiskers. They are very sensitive to movement. So every time the ball tries to roll off his body, he feels on his whiskers and adjusts his head. It's that simple. Now, of course, they have whiskers for a reason. It's to help them find and catch food. So yes, they're there to help them find and catch food. So if the water's murky and a sea lion can't see fish, because they normally will use their eyesight to find the food, they can pick up the motion that the fish's tail makes as it swims along in the water on those very sensitive whiskers, which is why we show you this activity. Now, to make it more difficult, a bit of a splash for people around the front. Did you miss that, Merlin? Go on then, pick it. I can see it there if you want to get it. A bit of a retrieve. So this requires a lot more concentration and effort, a lot more time. Merlin's okay with this. Sometimes he just quite zigzag swimming to get back over to today. Well done, we'll try it again. I tried to change where I threw it, but the problem is half the time I can't remember where I threw it the first time. So it looks this, propelling his front flippers in a sweeping action, back and forth, and he uses his back flippers like a little runner to steer himself about. Another good retrieve there, well done. So we're going to make it even more challenging now, and the reason that we do this is to keep the animals stimulated. If we just kept them doing the same thing all the time, just like us humans, it's likely they're going to get bored. So it's a very important part of our job to keep them occupied. You ready, Merle? So he's going to catch it again, but this time he's going to try and do a front flipper stand with the ball on his nose. He's the only sea lion here at the show that can do this. Come on, point your toes, you can do it. Good boy. And again. One last go. Perfect, Merlin. And hold that there. That was a perfect example. Good boy. So we'll come back to balancing in a minute, because he can do quite a lot of things with different objects. We'll do a bit of food catching now. The idea is, quite simply, that Merlin's going to try and catch each one of his 5 hoops over his lovely long flexible neck. Now sea lions can pretty much strike out their neck in any direction they want to. They can easily contract it when needed and expand it, which is very useful when they're chasing fish or prey, so they can launch that neck out to grab onto the food with their teeth. So this final one, I'm terrible at throwing, I'll be honest. This final one I'm going to have to flick to it. We'll have to see how this goes. I definitely need 2 hands. And I've left the largest hoop, normally it's easy to do with the small ones. If he gets this, give him a little cheer. And me. Ready? Catch that. That was legendary. Now, seeming as he's done so well with catching them over his head, I'm going to do a retrieve with this as well. What Merlin tends to do with this is he only brings back 4 hoops. So we'll have to see if he's actually managed to spot all 5. I've actually had a go at doing this myself recently. Believe me, it's quite difficult. We've got a competition at the moment that we're doing online. Best impression of a sea lion, and I've tried it myself and it is tricky. Only manage 3 hoops, and they just kind of just try and flirt everywhere. So yeah, it's not very easy to do, believe me. Right, what we'll try now is Merlin's backwards somersault. He's the only sea lion here at the show that can do this. He's gonna go, wait there, he's gonna go head over tail, above the pool, somewhere roughly in the centre of the pool. So don't blink, and get your cameras ready, everyone. Ready, Merlin? Go as high as you can! Now, in case you missed it, would you like to see that again?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't sound very certain. Would you like to see it again? Yeah. That's a bit more like it. Right, so let's get into position. Now, Merlin, if you don't manage to do this as good as the last one, that's totally fine. Don't worry. Ready? Go! Hey, that was better than the first one. You did so well with that. You should give yourself a clap. We're going to show you some differences between seals and sea lions now. A lot of people do get confused between the 2 animals, so I'm going to help you tell them apart quite easily. One difference is their ears. Sea lions like Merle, I'll just show you the side of his head if he'll stay still towards this side. They have ear flaps on the side of their head. They have a name, they're called pinna, so an external ear flap. Whereas a seal has an ear hole, usually covered with fur. Another difference is the size of their front flippers. Can we have that flipper on here? Now this one. That's it, good boy. The size of their front flippers. Sea lions have a front flipper about the size of my arm, whereas a seal, they have a front flipper about the size of my hand. So there is quite a big difference there, really. So that is one obvious difference. Now this leads to the 3rd difference, and it's the way that they move. So we'll have a quick walk around again. As you can see here with Merlin, he doesn't struggle at all. You can get back up on your stand now, good boy. He can run, jump, he can even climb if he wants to. Sea lions are very agile on the land. Now a seal, they move quite differently when they're on the ground. To help you tell them apart, Merlin's going to do an impression. How do they get about on the land? That's right, they wriggle along on their belly, much like a giant caterpillar. That was a very good impression of a sea lion, a seal, sorry, considering you're a sea lion. So well done to you, Merle. Now, unfortunately, unfortunately, we're reaching the end of the show. We've got 2 more activities there before we do bring it to a close. So we'll move back to the balancing, as I mentioned before. So he's going to give an attempt at balancing the American football. What I'm going to actually do is make it more difficult and put the ball on his nose upright and see if he can manage to get all the way back to his stand, still keeping it in that position. We'll see. Sometimes it sort of rocks like that. Sometimes he just drops it. Are you ready, Merle? Come on, give it a good try. If he manages this, you do need to give him a nice little sit when he gets to his stand. So he's got to push himself out of the water. And of course, climb back up onto his stand. Good boy! So we have now come to the grand finale. Merlin's been quite out of practice for this, but he's been doing it more regularly recently, so he's getting better at it. He's going to do the high ball jump. You may have noticed the pink ball suspended above the pool. In a moment, we're going to see if Merlin can manage to hit that ball with his nose. So people around the edge, in particular in this area here, that's where most of the water goes, just to give you a heads up. Now we need to give him a run up, because he's not very good at doing it off his stand. And we all need to give him a countdown as well. So I'll bring you back here. Get ready, everyone. From 3, 2, 1. He's already off. If he hits it, give him a cheer. Yeah. That was a fantastic jump. You did set off early though. You are a bit of a mischief with that. Then we're going to have to practice. But take your applause. What a start. Now, unfortunately, we really have come to the end of the show. We are going to have 3 of the sea lions swimming around in the pool at the end. So we'll make sure that we feed them on the outside so you can all see them. So that will be Merlin, Clive our alpha male, and Mateo the baby. And then Marvin, our other sea lion. When you actually leave, as you know, you're doing a one-way system now here at the show. If you do want to go and buy a poster, they cost £5. And then you can pose for your photograph, taking your own photograph, in front of Marvin on a little platform. So again, if you want to have a go at doing that, you'll see there is a queuing system involved related to that. It will just be in that area, there'll be staff there. But for myself, the rest of the staff, and our gorgeous sea lions, thank you very much for coming to join us, and goodbye.